There is one big difference between world-class experience and everything else, and that is this. World-class customer experience doesn't know the word no. It doesn't know the word no. So when we were at this other restaurant that we just came from, we were watching the sunset. We got there and my wife was asking for a champagne, and they said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have champagne." Now, we have had champagne, or she has had champagne. I don't drink, but she has had champagne for the last couple days. She's had glasses in multiple places, which means there is champagne not only in the Bahamas, not only in this part of the Bahamas, but in this very resort, there is somewhere champagne. Now, contrast that with earlier today, we were actually out on the beach, and we asked the person who was serving us if, literally, and my wife doesn't drink that much. This will sound like, she drinks a lot. She really doesn't drink that much. But we're sitting on the beach, and she says, "Do you think there's any chance somebody could go to our room and grab me the glass of champagne that is in my room from last night?" And you know what they said? Here's what they could have said. "No, I'm sorry, ma'am, that's not our policy." They could have said, "Well, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. We sell champagne here, and if you'd like to buy one, we will get you one." But you know what they did? They said, "Absolutely, we'll send someone up right away." And not only did they go get the champagne, they brought it down in a chilled glass, and they set it in a bucket of ice so that when the champagne came, it was nice and cold all the way out to the beach. And they didn't make any money from it. And we were willing to pay, and we were willing to buy champagne from this other place, but the answer was no. We said, "Hey, do you have any snacks?" And they said, "Sorry, we don't serve food here." Now, I'm not complaining, okay? Please don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying, "Oh, this is terrible. Can you believe it? They wouldn't give us champagne. They wouldn't give us nuts." That's not the point of this story. I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I'm not a total snob. I am telling you the story because it illustrates such a subtle but significant difference between average experience and extraordinary experience. And extraordinary experience, the answer is always yes, or let's see what we can do. Let me tell you what I can do. The other thing was our room was really hot. In big resorts like this, they often limit how cold you can make the room. And we said, "Gosh, the room is really hot. Technically it says 68, but it feels much hotter." And they said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me see what I can do." And what happened was a little while later, somebody knocks on our door, and they explained to us, they said, "You know what? We can't do anything about the temperature in your room, but here's a fan." And they brought us a fan, right? So the answer wasn't no. The answer was, "Let me see what I can do for you." That is extraordinary experience. It's not just no, we don't do that. No, it's our policy. In fact, in customer service, they sometimes call this the milkshake test. And if you go to a restaurant, and you were to say, "Hey, I would like a milkshake," if you were to order a milkshake, a lot of times they don't have milkshakes on the menu. And so if you can always tell if there's a well-trained staff by ordering a milkshake, because most restaurant menus don't have milkshakes. And yet, almost every restaurant you go to has ice cream, and it has milk, and it has ice, and it has a blender, which is all you need to make a milkshake. But if it's a well-trained staff, they'll say, "Let me see what I can do. How could I give you a milkshake? Or how could I give you something close to it? What are the options I could come up with?" But in an average experience, the answer is, "No, I'm sorry, that's not on the menu. No, that's not possible." And again, I'm not complaining. I'm not upset. I understand policies. What I am saying is that if you want to provide extraordinary experience instead of average experience, the answer has to always be yes, or at least let me tell you what I can do. Don't tell your clients what you can't do. Ask and ask for a moment to figure out to see what you can do. And even if the answer comes back as no, typically there's always something you can do, even if you can't satisfy their request, and that is extraordinary experience. That is differentiation. That is something that people are willing to pay much more for.